Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. So today's episode is going to be a review of Love Island 2019, episode 27. So obviously the first thing we see is the aftermath of the Amber and Michael kind of recoupling / ditching. At this point, I don't even feel like Michael even feels guilty. I feel like he's enjoying this moment. I feel like he felt satisfaction of Amber coming in alone and seeing him coupled up with somebody else. You know, Michael gives a lot of reasons. He says that he was holding in his tongue and he wasn't being himself, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like I feel like his reasons are bogus. Like Amber said, just say if you've met a new person and you have a better connection with them, just say. But enough of these like excuses and pointing fingers. I feel like Michael was insecure and maybe he felt like himself was pushing being with Amber, and perhaps Amber would find somebody better than him, and that's why he left her. Because the way that he's approaching the situation himself, the way that he's holding himself, I feel like Michael has been himself. Like there's been a lot of golden moments with Michael when he was coupled up with Amber. So I feel like this whole argument of, oh, he's only now just being himself is kind of redundant. The only thing that I have kind of noticed is that in the beginning, I didn't like Michael. If you listen back to my podcast at the very beginning, I didn't like Michael, and I couldn't understand why people liked him. I felt like he was very snarky, and I felt like he was very rude, and I felt like he himself had a bad attitude. And what I was seeing at the beginning of the series when I didn't like Michael is the same behavior that we're seeing tonight. I've seen some people backing Michael up on his points of, yeah, Amber has this bad attitude. Like, of course he'd leave Amber because her attitude stinks. But I think that Michael has a bad attitude. I feel like if Amber has an attitude, then Michael has an even worse attitude. I feel like his attitude this episode absolutely stunk. I feel like Amber handled herself the best that she could. With us knowing how Amber is, she handled the situation pretty well. Obviously with Amber, she called Joanna a dead thing. Obviously she's angry, so you can expect her to be spiteful. Personally, I'm not really here for putting other women down, like for their physical looks. Like Joanna is gorgeous, and all of this yada yada, like, oh, look at her and look at me, I'm 10 times better than her, so I'm not even chipping off of her. I feel like complex a lot in mixed race girls or lighter skinned black girls, especially in areas where there's not that many mixed race girls and they're usually seen as really pretty special creation. And I feel like that is like a part of her personality, which I don't like, but at the same time I can understand why she would bring it up. Like, it's not a surprise that she kind of tried to down Joanna, but I'm not really here for that. I hope that she does grow out of that. Joanna, she hasn't done anything wrong. I feel like out of all of the man stealers in the house, she's conducted herself well. I feel like it was Michael. Obviously, she was there listening, but I feel like it was Michael that was being overly negative and bitching about Amber and disrespecting her. I feel like Joanna's kind of just there. But I do feel like Joanna needs to be quiet. All of this thing like, oh, I hope that we can talk when things calm down. Like, why would the person whose man you stole want to talk to you ever if they didn't need to? So I feel like all of this, oh, let's just be mature about things, like woman to woman. I'm not here for that. And I feel like Joanna just needs to be quiet and just let it go. Like, if Amber doesn't want to speak to you, fine. Like, you've got Michael, you've got your man. Things are going great with him. Just be about your man. Do you feel like Joanna was being mature in the situation by, kind of wanting to iron things out with Amber? Or do you feel like she should have just let it go? Or do you feel like Joanna just needs to let it go and give Amber the space that she needs? Do you feel like she even needs to speak to Amber at all? Also, the Casa Amor Islanders leave, but let's be honest, we don't really care about them. Like, bye, next. So obviously we're kind of seeing an alliance here between the new girls, Jordan, Joanna and Belle. Obviously, Amber, that was Amber's bad for basically bitching to who she's literally known 2 seconds. And obviously, the new girls are automatically going to be close with each other because they came in at the same time. So that was Amber's bad for spilling that. Obviously, Amber calls Joanna, like, she basically says, like, why would I be tripping off Michael? Like, Joanna's a dead thing. Like, I'm not even tripping. Jordan goes and spills that tea to Joanna. And what are we thinking? Are we thinking that Jordan is messy? Because obviously, again, in a show where you can't use your phone, you can't watch TV, it's, spreading people's drama and gossiping becomes entertainment. But personally, as a friend, if I was Joanna, I wouldn't want to hear what Amber has said about me. Like, I hate people that do that, where they come up to you and be like, oh, this and this and this has said this negatively about you. It's just kind of like, well, they've said it. So what is me now knowing that they think this negative thing of me, how is that gonna help my life? How is that gonna help my relationship with the man I just stole? Like, I don't know, I guess it's just a part of the show, it's expected. But what do you feel? Do you feel like Jordan was entitled, do you feel like Jordan was entitled to tell Joanna the tea that Amber told her? Or do you feel like Jordan was being a bit messy? And do you feel like she has the potential to be a messy Bessie in the house? And why do you feel that she felt the need to say it? Because obviously she added the comment like, oh, that's rude, which it obviously is. But why do you feel like she felt the need to tell Joanna? I feel like it was because when she was talking to Amber, Amber was being quite kind of negative when she was like, oh, so you're coupled up with Danny, right? And she kind of like made a noise like of disgust. So what we're thinking, do you feel like Jordan felt like that was like disrespect in general? Like, as in like you're saying, like, basically, was she like being disrespectful to me by saying ill? Or do you feel like she felt a type of way because she actually likes Danny? Jordan and Anna kind of have a talk. Obviously, things are a bit awkward. They kind of have like an amicable, friendly talk. No aggro. There was a bit of like talking over each other, but I feel like they both amicably hashed out their issues. But obviously, at the end of the episode, we kind of see them kind of have like a suspicious hug. Like, I feel like Anna kind of like nuzzled into his neck or whatever. Well, Jordan said that she kissed his neck. So what we thinking? Do you feel like this could be the start of a triangle? Or do you feel like Jordan will just give up once a new person comes in and shows interest in him? Or what are we thinking? Do you feel like Anna could be swayed? What team are you on? Are you on Team Jordan or Team Ovi? I've seen a few people basically saying that Ovi seems like he's a player, but obviously now we're seeing that Anna could potentially be a player too. So what are we thinking about Anna now? Do you feel like Anna's a player? Honestly, I feel like in the outside world, Anna would be having both of them on retainer, like Ovi on Monday, Jordan on Tuesday, Ovi on Wednesday. I feel like it'd be like that scissor song. So Michael decides to confront Amber, and again, I'm not sure what his motive is here because he's the one who broke up with Amber. So he should expect that Amber's not going to be all right with it. I feel like Michael was pissed off that Amber didn't try. And I feel like his objective of this whole confrontation was to aggravate her and to make her break down. And I feel like, again, it's because of his ego. Like, him obviously him bringing back another girl didn't do enough damage, so he's trying to break her down even more. Even now you can see it's so obvious that he's playing this blame game. I feel like he was insecure about this relationship from the very start. And lots of people who want to say Amber's attitude stinks, I feel like you cannot deny now that Michael also has a stanky ass attitude. I think that Michael has an even worse attitude. Before, I was kind of just like in the space of like, it is what it is. Michael and Amber weren't kind of official, but I feel like he's trying to rub it in now. And yeah, I feel like Michael is trash. I'm not sure who's worse trash, him or Danny, and he can definitely go next. So Curtis pulls Amy to the side and tells her the truth about everything. Well, I feel like you could say told her a half truth. He basically admits the whole Jordan situation. But then he basically says that the main thing that they need to work on is trust in a relationship. And that itself was bogus. And that itself sounded so strange after he admitted what he admitted. In Casa Amor, he was kind of talking about he didn't like how Amy was negative. So I'm confused as to why he didn't say that. So now I'm just even more confused about this Amy and Curtis situation. Because at first I was thinking maybe this is him trying to buy time, but he's there crying all over the place. I don't know what's going on in Curtis's head. What are you thinking now? Do you feel like he's still trying to buy time, or do you feel like now he realizes that he can't leave Amy now. That if he leaves Amy, then his game plan is basically finished. So now he's trying to do damage control and get back with Amy. Obviously, Amy is upset. You know, she was saying that she told the girls in private that, you know, she kind of still loves him, and the girls are basically saying like, girl, like, he doesn't love you, like, look at this behavior, like the disrespect. Honestly, I don't like Amy at this point, and I didn't feel sad for her when she was crying, but Amy, she does need to respect herself, and she definitely has, even though she has been like kind of controlling and possessive in the relationship, at this point she has the power over Curtis's game, and Curtis was hella disrespectful. I did not expect Curtis to be this disrespectful to Amy in his conduct. But Amy has the power and she knows it, so it's just about what Amy wants to do. If she really loves Curtis, then I feel like she would take him back, because he has been honest, but he basically did cheat on her. I feel like Amy's gonna take him back. Obviously, later on in the episode, she kind of deeps the disrespect and she lets him have it. And she was speaking all facts, like Curtis disrespected her, and she does deserve better than somebody who is telling her all of these lies, basically. Biggest liar in the house. And I think she's deeped as well that Curtis has made her look like a dickhead on TV, because she's there professing his love for him, and he's been pretending like he's the perfect guy. He's been playing that role. So Amy is perfectly within her rights to kick Curtis to the curb, but will she do it? That is the question. Because Amy also knows that if she leaves Curtis, regardless of what anybody else thinks, her game is finished. Amy with somebody else, no one would care. People will get over this blimp if Curtis and Amy get back together. People might say that she's being stupid, but I feel like people will get over it. Amy being in another relationship will not work, and I don't think Curtis could come back from being in another relationship. So I feel like the only option for both of them in terms of a game plan is getting back together. They won't win, but I feel like that is the best kind of game plan for both of them. I feel like Curtis could survive with somebody else. As much as I don't like Amy, I can't even defend Curtis's behaviour. Like, I don't know what the hell he's playing at. And honestly, it's hella cheeky. Very cheeky behaviour from Curtis. So I don't even think if he was to couple up with somebody else other than Amy, he would have enough support to advance his game. So Amber finally has like a little mini breakdown. So Michael basically got what he was after, and Ovi and Anna basically cheer her up, hype her up, and that was really sweet. I really love Ovi, and I respect him for that, and Anna too. So obviously after that, Anna, she's seeing how upset her homegirl Amber is, and she's just like, nah, Michael needs to be checked. And honestly, I was thinking that Anna was going to kick off, but I feel like Anna had a good argument, and I feel like Michael was doing what Danny was doing and being super defensive, and again calling Anna childish, saying she was raising her voice, and then just out of nowhere blaming Amber, saying Amber made him look like a dickhead. And I'm just confused. I'm thinking, Michael, I feel like Michael is crazy, like not as crazy as Amy, but I feel like he's like crazy as in very insecure. And I just feel like Michael's behavior this episode has been very strange. Same way that Amber has a complex, I feel like Michael has a complex too. And I feel like he feels like he's got an Adonis complex now. So now he feels like everybody must kiss his feet now, and he won't tolerate anything that he classifies as disrespect anymore, and he is the king of the castle. That's what I feel is going on right now, and it reeks of trash, and he can get in the bin. How do you feel like Anna conducted herself? Do you feel like Anna was being childish or anything? I feel like Anna was making good argument, and I feel like Michael couldn't handle it because he was refusing to answer the questions. And honestly, I find it really funny when Northerners try to act really tough because they've got such high-pitched voices. The boys, well, Anton, Danny and Jordan basically call Anna a hypocrite, and they say that she has no right to have a go at Michael when she's basically done the same thing. And I feel like I've seen a few people bring in that argument, but I don't feel like it's the same, and I'll tell you why. So this is why I don't think it's the same. Amber and Jordan were very fresh. They were hardly a couple for a week. It was early days, and they hadn't really discussed how they felt on a deeper level. It was more of, I like you, you like me. They hadn't had a test come in. Anna hadn't been taken out on a date. Jordan hadn't been taken out on a date. If these situations would have happened, that would have been a time where they would have been like, well, look, this person has come in. They're after you. Look, I really like you. I want us to be exclusive. They didn't have that conversation ever. They never had the my head would never turn conversation. Amber and Michael had. They've been together like a good 3.5/4 weeks. They've known each other since the beginning. Even though they never put a label on their relationship, I can see why perhaps in Amber's head it already felt like they had defined their relationship. Michael definitely led Amber on and definitely sold her dreams. They hadn't had any sort of conversation where it was like, look, if you don't stop this behavior, it's going to be a problem down the line. They didn't have any such conversation. So that's why I feel like you can't really compare the relationship. Anton, he needs to be quiet because I'm pretty sure he's going to be single next week. Danny, again, hush your gums. It's just like every now and again he pops his head out of the trash bin and it's just like, bitch, get back in. I'm in two minds of who I'd vote off next. Would it be Michael or Danny? Who do you feel has the title of the trashiest man in the house? Danny or Michael? Jordan, yeah. Jordan kind of just needed to hold his L at this point. I don't even know why he's piping up. And also, I want to say I've got a lot of respect for Ovi now. And now I'm kind of... In the last podcast, I kind of said that I feel like I prefer Jordan and Anna together. But Ovi went up there when when it turned into an argument with Michael and Anna. Just went in there just to let Michael know, I'm here if you want to try anything disrespectful. I'm here, so don't even try it. And, obviously the last argument that happened with Danny and Anna, Jordan was just there calling her pathetic. So honestly, Jordan could never. So I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards Team Ovi now. And then the producers are just being shady as fuck. Amber gets a text that basically says that her and Joanna are going out for an outing together privately. And honestly, I don't know what the aim of this was. The drama wasn't even that juicy to stretch it even further. I don't think anything big will happen. I feel like there might be some catty comments here and there, but it won't be anything major. Maybe another argument with Michael might come out of it. Honestly, I don't really care at this point. I don't care about Michael anymore. I don't care about Joanna. I want Amber to be happy. So I do want Amber to find somebody. Will she find somebody that's already in the house? I've discussed before about George. George looks-wise, maybe. But personality-wise, like I said, he's a bit slow. So that's why I feel like him and Lucy will make a good pair together. I don't know who else would pursue her out of the kind of fresh couples in the house. I hope that Amber does find somebody, and I hope that she's really happy, and I hope that Michael gets really jealous about it. The next episode is going to continue on the outing. Also, it's kind of I don't know if we'll kind of know for sure tomorrow if a triangle has formed between Anna, Jordan and Ovi. And then obviously it's carrying on the Amber and Curtis situation. And it's looking like a dry episode, if I'm honest. On Twitter, there isn't much support for Michael. A lot of people are calling out that he hasn't really given a justifiable reason for dumping Amber. And a lot of people are not liking how he's turned nasty. And a lot of people are saying, if this is the real him, then Amber is lucky to kind of have been escaped him. I don't think Michael is in anyone's good books anymore, and I feel like this isn't a recoupling that he'll be able to survive, and I feel like he will definitely be vulnerable of leaving next if there's a public vote. And also perhaps maybe even a vote inside the house amongst the other islanders. There's obviously considerably a lot more support for Amber. A lot of people are saying that she handled herself really well. I feel like she did handle herself well considering who she is. There are some people calling her childish for the Joanna comment, which is again understandable, but I feel like other than that, she handled herself quite well. There's a lot less sympathy for Amy than I thought there would be, but then again, I'm not surprised. Like, she's not the most loved contestant. A lot of people are saying that they feel really sorry for her, that they're heartbroken for her, but a lot of people are basically pointing out that she says that she's in love with Curtis and that she's lost the man that she's loved, and she's literally known him like just under 4 weeks. I mean, they have a point. It is a bit peak how Curtis has done her. Like, Curtis has done Amy so dirty. Amy is justified in being upset. Like, we can at least agree on that at the very least. There's still quite a bit of negativity for Curtis. A lot of people are saying that he's basically just using Amy for a place. And then some people are basically just saying that Amy and Curtis as a pair are boring, so who kind of cares? And I'm kind of with both. Like, I'm done with Amy and Curtis now. Like, at first it was interesting, but it's just gone back to them being a boring couple. So honestly, I couldn't care less about the drama between them. If you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter. My handle is at shannonfabuloso. That's shannonfabuloso. It's also in the description. I usually live tweet during the episode, so at me during the episode with your opinions. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts were on tonight's drama. I'm in Paris right now. I've got a concert to go to, so I'm probably going to do this again, like upload in the morning/afternoon. So yeah, till next time guys, bye.